Welcome back, Inebri-arts. This is Andy of the Inebri-art podcast, and we are back at the craft beer cellar, finally. Not that we don't love our friends at the Mayflower Brewery. They're great. But this is where we kind of got our start. So if you happen to be on Main Street in Plymouth, make sure you come here for all your beer and wine. Hell, they even have sake now, and kombucha and mead, and like they even have like a cold brew coffee on tap upstairs. So it was about a year ago when. So let's rewind. A few years ago, we started doing art shows at Dirty Water Distillery, and we found out quickly that our art shows are one of the best ways that we find new artists in the area, somehow via Facebook or word of mouth or whatever. Every single time we have an art show, we meet new artists who we've never seen before. And about a year ago, we met this one very lovely, bubbly, charismatic person, and Em Adler also.
She was standing right next to me.
Yeah, like she was right next to you.
Next to me.
So, Em, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, you came across our art show somehow. You were new to the area, right?
Yeah, I just moved here. It was actually on Easter. I went into Dirty Water and like had an aggressive tasting. And,
an aggressive tasting.
So I did the whole thing.
Oh, you ran the line?
I literally ran the line.
So, do you know what I've realized? Is it gets like worse and worse.
It does.
Because
it does. Yeah. It just keeps building.
They just keep adding more.
They don't take one away.
No, it's just now if you run the line, it's got to be pushing 20.
Yeah. When we started, it was like 7.
She said it was like 5 double shots, and she's like, "Oh, it's only 5 double shots." I'm like, Angela, that's 10 shots.
And you're like, oh yeah, and I probably should have had a snack before.
Yeah, I should have eaten. We drove
11:45 in the morning. What am I doing?
It was on Easter. We drove past this weird, and my partner and I, we both turned and we were like, distillery? Pull the car over!
Yeah.
So that's actually how I was schmoozing pretty hardcore. And he's like, do you guys know Inebri-art? I'm like, no, dude, I just moved here. Like, I don't know what you want from me.
It's such a weird thing for us that's like a thing now.
That's so exciting, though.
We literally earlier today, I was doing a painting over at New World Tavern. Like, it was this private party at lunch, and I was sitting at the bar, and so we had like the whole thing set up, and we were just waiting for the people to kind of show up and get ready. And I heard someone walk in, and they go, "Oh, what's that?" And they're whoever was with them, his response was, "Oh, that's Inebri-art." And I was just like, that's so fucking weird. Like,
they know
how is that a thing? Granted, I'm sitting here with the Inebri-art shirt on, but like, that's so weird that like he didn't hesitate. He was just like, oh, that's Inebri-art.
Wait, did he know? Did we know him?
No, I have no idea who that fucking guy was.
Oh, there's a fan.
Like, if it was like, then I looked around and it was like Joey, I'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, it was. I'm like, I don't know who that was. It's so weird.
It was Joey Eggs who told me about you guys.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
We do like Joey Eggs. He's a good guy. So, because you have a drinking problem, you went to the distillery.
I do.
I think that's pretty clear.
You work at a winery.
No. Rewind. I'm an alcohol enthusiast.
You are very good at it.
Enthusiast.
You don't have a problem. You are a pro.
I am absolutely a pro.
Nice.
Yeah. Woo, booze.
So you worked at Plymouth Bay Winery.
Mm-hmm.
And you came here from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, originally. Yep. Went to school in Rhode Island. Moved back to Maryland. No, I didn't. I'm not that cool.
Sorry.
No, I went to Roger Williams.
Oh,
so
okay.
that means I actually got a.
So you got a zoo certificate?
A zoo certificate?
Roger Williams Zoo. You went to the zoo?
Yeah, I went to the zoo.
Okay.
I was a zoologist, and I just painted the animals. Obviously,
I don't like her sarcasm is like really heavy. I like it.
I'm sarcastic.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
No, you didn't know?
No,
For our friends in foreign lands, that's English American sarcasm.
So I got my BFA in fine art from Roger Williams down in Bristol, and I also got a BA in classics, so Latin, ancient Greek, and Italian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like language?
Languages. So I studied.
Do you speak all those?
I read better. I can't even speak now.
You can't even speak English.
I
This whole thing is bullshit. I don't buy any of this.
It's fine. The rest
I
of the
speak like 8 languages other than the one I'm talking right now.
No, it's
So-
fine. We're just going to spend the rest of the episode in Latin.
Yeah, no. I can read better than I can speak right now just because I haven't been practicing. At home, we speak a mixture of Hebrew and Yiddish. And then I also sign.
Really? Holy cow.
Yeah.
Is it when you learn... You know what? We're going to do the rest of the podcast in sign language.
We're not. That's Braille.
It's not. It's audio.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Terrible joke. Sorry. I'm sure I offended the one deaf listener.
How would that work?
All right. I don't know.
Right now, he's the lucky one.
So, is it easier to learn... Like, once you learn... say 2 languages, is it easier to pick up more? Like, is there crossover? I don't even... This is supposed to be like a creativity. Now I'm more interested in languages.
So Latin is the base of all Romance languages.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have a sort of structure of like the way Latin is different grammatically than all the rest of the Romance languages, but like a lot of vocabulary transfers over. So I actually started with Italian, and then I went to Latin, and then I went back.
And that's why, like, some words sound sort of similar in multiple languages.
Yeah, so Romance language, it's French, Italian, Latin, Spanish. And then when I was cooking down in Maryland in the kitchen, I learned that Romanian is actually a Romance language.
And Portuguese.
Too. And Portuguese,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, no kidding.
Which, Portuguese sounds so similar to Italian, but you're like, just kidding, I didn't get
It's
that.
like, no, it sounds right, but I don't act... Because I understand very little Portuguese, usually just the curse words.
But those are the important ones.
That's all
That's
you
much
need.
where you
yeah,
start,
that
yeah.
was check, done.
And I also know sit down and underwear, and that's as far as it went.
You know, sit down in underwear.
know shut
I
up
feel
in
like
all of
we've
the
delved
languages.
way too deep into your childhood.
No,
Are
I
you
picked
okay, Fish?
up... Oh, my, no, but that's not here nor there.
Show us on the beer where they touched you.
Yeah, no, I remember I used to work at Home Depot, and outside there was a food truck called Danish Dogs. They sold hot dogs. And the woman that ran it was from
I didn't
Denmark.
think the dogs were barking. Sorry, continue. Denmark.
Why did we invite her?
I don't know. Why am I here?
I know exactly for why she...
She is.
I think it was my idea, though.
So
So it's my fault.
I don't remember exactly how. I don't. You have ideas?
Denmark.
I don't really listen. Anyways, Denmark. So I wanted to kind of expand my cultural horizon.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked someone, I'm like, well, how do you say hello in Danish? And she's like, and I'm sure I'm not going to get it right, but it's basically good day. And I'm like, I'm so disappointed. Like, I thought I was going to learn something cool, but I could just say good day and... You know, because I'm American, so I'm going to fuck it up anyways, so that's as close as it's going to get.
Yeah.
So, you know a bunch of languages, and you went for art. And you draw beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
You just had a opening maybe a month and a half ago?
Yeah, in October. Yeah, my big show.
Oh my god, that was like 3 months
I know.
ago.
Isn't that crazy?
Ugh.
I'm really glad it's done. I was really excited for the end of October.
So I'd seen a couple pieces of yours that you'd submitted, and then you had this opening down in New Bedford, right? Yeah. And
S&G Project Gallery. Check them out.
S&G Project Gallery, friends of ours on Facebook.
Ayo.
We can't say shout out because that's only when you insult people, I believe.
Andy, please don't ask me for these rules, because
we don't
not
follow
funny.
rules. But so I was really blown away. Like, your stuff was really beautiful. How would you describe your work? Oh, I know, right? Tough question. Because I was gonna try to, but I'm like,
It's hard.
I'm not gonna try.
So I work predominantly in 2 medias. I do 3-dimensional works in ceramics at the moment, which look like weird forms of the seafloor. So that's a lot of coral. It's a lot of coral is the best way to describe it. It looks like something has been like decomposing on the seafloor, like some artifacts from the Titanic or something. And then I do a lot of large-scale, almost abstracted mixed media drawings, so lots of ink, charcoal, pen. But like the basis for my work is, especially in this last show, the show was called What Grows from the Bottom. and I had lost my best friend to suicide.
Oh,
It'll be
geez.
the 2-year anniversary in February.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. So my work is all about him and dealing with that grief and that loss. So there was actually, in this past show, there was more color than I've seen in my work. And
It was really
since-
colorful. Yeah.
which is very surprising. All of my friends were like, you're doing so well. There's color. I'm like, yes, thank you, guys.
Now, how do you... Because I feel art is very therapeutic, and to me it's very... I don't want to say zen because it sounds cheesy, but like when I'm working and like really focused, I'm not thinking. Like it just kind of comes out. Do you feel that like influences your work? Is that where like if you look back at your work, can you relate what you were going through at that time?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So it was funny before he died. My work, I was doing a lot of found object sculpture. So lots of bones and plaster and.
This was before his passing?
This was before his
Okay.
passing. I just started to get into like mixed media drawing. I actually got my degree in sculpture. And not ceramics either, so it was just mixed media stuff. And then he passed, and like my work took a huge solid left turn. And the first show I ever had, my first solo show, sorry, Fish.
Don't apologize to him.
Okay, just kidding. Was called Grief Landscapes. So I did like all these abstracted, large scale, like 6-foot drawings of landscapes of like the mountainscape of Strasbourg, which is the Poconos. So it's a lot of black, a lot of heavy charcoal. And it was interesting. After I got over like these mountains, I started to think a lot about mushrooms because they grow in damp, dark places. So that was sort of the jumping off point from that.
Oh, yeah. I could kind of see like kind of like a... This is gonna sound terrible, like a fungal thing towards your work. Yeah,
coral,
I can see that.
fungal, dead flowers.
Now,
Super cheery.
when, which is totally opposite to every experience I've ever had talking to you.
Really?
Yeah, because you always seem so
Super
upbeat.
cheery bit?
Yeah.
She's always seems super cheery.
Which is funny because I'm super sarcastic. So I feel like if this
That's kind of how we all interact. So
Yeah.
the more of a dick you are to us, the more we think you like us.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how I am too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
I've literally told people, been like, "Can you stop being nice to me? It makes me feel uncomfortable."
I tell my friends if I'm not an asshole to you, then like I don't like you.
I used to
Like,
I used to tell my team that like worked for me. I'd be like, "If I'm nice, you should be worried."
Exactly.
Because then I'm concerned you're going to report me to somebody when I write you up or something.
Yeah.
Now, when you see that kind of effect on your work, do you see it as you're making it? Because I feel like if I do stuff like that, it's more like when I reflect back and I look at it, weeks, months, years later. But do you see it as it's coming out where you're like, oh, I'm clearly in a dark spot, or oh, I'm lightening up? Like, is it immediate that you see it, or is it more like in retrospect?
A little bit of both. I'm very aware when I'm making work because it's a for me with my drawing it's a conscious color choice. But like with my ceramics, it's a lot more ambiguous, and like it's really hard for me because I feel like this sounds so snobby. Is I became very successful very quickly out of college. So I'm still trying to figure
Humble
out.
brag much?
Yeah, casual hair flip.
Whatever.
And not very
You're
successful.
lucky I'm even talking to you losers.
Drop the mic and walk away.
Oh, please don't drop.
No, I would never. My mom teaches high school theater, so I grew up in the tech world. So
Yeah.
I know how much microphones cost.
Yeah.
I would not do that to your stuff. As Fish spills his beer on his computer.
I would never.
You never spilled beer.
What was I talking about? So I had my first solo show. When I
Oh,
was
you were talking about how
still-
great you were immediately.
Yeah, that's
You're like,
it.
oh my god, I'm so awesome.
Yeah. Woohoo, bitches! I could have kept going with the sarcasm, but I decided to stop. No, because I had my first solo show still in school, and then I waited a year, and the gallery approached me, and I'm like, I don't know, like, what the next step is right now. So it's hard, like, prepping for a show for so long, and then afterwards you're like, right, so, like, what now? Like,
Well, so for our listeners who aren't visual artists, because we handle all sorts of creative people, how does that work? So the gallery comes to you and says, we want you to have a solo show. What is the turnaround time? Like, what is the expectation? How many pieces did they expect from you? Like, what was that whole process like?
it was really hard. So the first show, I was interning at the gallery, the Mint Gallery down in Bristol, Rhode Island, and I was like, hey, guy, owner, boss, you want to let me take over this room and have a show? And he's like, yeah, whatever. We're like, whatever. And then I sold 5 pieces, and he was like, oh, shit.
Like, yes, you can.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually am still showing there, which is
Now,
like,
out of 5 pieces, out of how many were submitted?
I think I had 25 pieces in that show.
Okay.
So that was I was still in school, and I'm like, hell yeah, money. What is this?
Right, yeah. Wait, you're going to pay me for this?
Exactly. So that was really exciting. So I actually, the gallery itself doesn't do shows like that. So that was really the first time they had ever even attempted something like that. So it's mostly like a hanging, like, New England style gallery for fruit boats and lands.
Boats, landscapes.
Yeah, and so my work stood out like a sore thumb.
That was so for our listeners who don't know, we just had a show at the Plymouth Center for the Arts, and like the whole time I'm like, dude, I don't know who is gonna get fucking fired over this shit because
It's like
we don't belong here.
Yeah, who the hell let us in, and who the hell gave us the walls?
Yeah.
I was promised shots out of red Solo cups at this show. I did not get that.
Well, first of all,
I was pretty drunk. I don't know about you.
all right.
I was at the distillery,
All right.
so
I
make
know
no
you're.
comment.
Yeah.
I roll up into the distillery. I'm like, Fish, where are your keys? He's like, do you need them?
It's like I'm
All right.
fairly sure I can still drive.
So we'll get M drunk at some point. Honestly, it was unbelievably. I expected it to be busy, but it was fucking mobbed. Like
It was.
wall
You
to wall
couldn't
people.
even. You couldn't even walk.
I never expected it to be that busy. Kate, who was helping me out, went down to the distillery maybe like an hour before it ended.
Yeah.
By the time she came back, I was shit-faced because I just started pounding beers because it slowed down. I'm
Oh
like,
my
fuck
God.
it.
Like, yeah, so from like the last hour, it's like, oh, Andy's fine. Yeah, good. I walk up and he's
Yeah.
shit-faced drunk. I'm sitting here going, you asshole.
I'm shit-faced drunk. First of all, you were at a distillery. If you can't get drunk at a distillery,
They
not my
were-
fault. Not my fault.
Every
They
time
were
I walk
working.
in there, I'm like just offered like beer that's
Yeah.
not there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, guys, like it's noon.
Yeah, see,
That's my experience.
experience, and Fish couldn't get drunk there, so I don't know what to tell him. So basically, people are coming back to like kind of shut down the show. I'm drunk as shit playing Tupac because I'm like, why not?
That's awesome.
It was insane. Like, I can't believe someone was like, yeah, why don't you guys do this?
That's awesome.
I totally
though.
forgot what my point of the story was. You were like dogging me for not buying you shots. I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be a lot slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There was too many.
Well,
There
you
were
were wrong.
there were too many eyes to be like, woo, let's do shots.
Yeah. What were we talking about? The show.
The show.
Show.
You were telling us how great you were.
Casual hair flip.
Casual hair flip.
Oh, the Mint. So,
Yeah,
sorry.
This is how the show goes.
This is
So
how the show
yeah, so that
operates.
was a huge surprise because the owner had zero faith in me, and I did all the marketing, I did all the social media, I did literally everything. I hung that show. My friend, who is now the, he works for the SCAD gallery down at SCAD in Georgia. He came and hung my show while I was having a panic attack in the corner because the owner did nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was my first experience of the show. So when
The first time I ever hung art, I think, had a panic attack too.
yeah. I was by myself. My
Yeah.
sister came up, my best friend came up, and that was it.
Because are you familiar with imposter syndrome?
No.
So imposter syndrome, which
Which we've been living with the last
yeah,
3 years.
I will happily counsel anyone with imposter syndrome if someone tells me I am not an imposter. It's basically when you have this constant feeling of like, I don't belong here. Like,
Yeah,
Hardcore
yeah,
there.
like-
We're all there.
like no, like you don't. Don't give me the Plymouth Center for the Arts. Like, I'm a moron. Like,
That's how I thought about
Yeah.
all of the shows I've had. I'm like, I shouldn't be here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we felt
And
about all of the shows.
they
we've had.
were super nice, and they're like, "This is the code. This is how you get in." I'm like, "Wait, who's going to be here?" They're like, "You're going to be here," and I'm like,
No. What grown-up is going to be here?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they know we're not part of this, right?
Yeah.
We're the drunk kids in the back. We're
Yeah.
not supposed to be here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't belong.
It's really awkward. Like with when I just had the show at S&G, there would be like all these artists coming in and be like, "We love your work." I'm like, "Hi, my name's
like your." Excuse me. The first art show I hung in. Do you know who Drew Struzan is?
I know that name. Why do I?
So basically, oh god, here we go. Set your clocks for Andy's old again. So if you saw a movie in the 80s, he probably did the movie poster for it.
Oh,
So
cool.
like
Right on.
all the Indiana Jones movies,
Got it. I have a visual.
Goonies, every movie poster he did. My piece hung directly across from his.
Oh, cool.
No, not
No,
cool.
not cool.
Andy was like a total mess. People were like, stand next to your picture. I want to get a
No,
you
I won't.
I'm not in this show. Fuck
No.
you.
I do not exist.
Yeah, so I totally get it. It's very nerve wracking.
It's very hard, and especially like my first show, most of my professors were hanging in that gallery.
Yeah,
So I was like, I shouldn't be here. Like,
Right.
Don't.
I
I'm
pay to
not
be
the
here, and you're
artist.
teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
So honestly, one of my favorite things now is to give someone the opportunity to hang their work for the first time. I love that.
That's
Yeah, we've
wonderful.
done that
Yeah.
a couple of times now.
A bunch
we've
of
had people
times,
show
yeah.
up with, it's like I've never hung it before. Cool.
Great.
Yeah, sure.
Let's put it up
Let's
on the
put it
wall.
up.
Yeah.
And you get next to it so we can take your picture. Ready, go.
Yep,
Thanks,
yeah.
Mom and Dad.
And when they wet themselves, well, yeah.
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 And we'll be like, they'll totally be shots there for you, M.
Yeah. Noted.
Whatever. I didn't know. You didn't remind me.
You were a little busy, my friend.
Also,
So busy.
They were a little busy.
Crazy.
All right, so back to
So, M, tell us about
Tangent again.
wiring art
Oh my
for hanging.
Do I have to? All right, so I showed up to the drop off. All right, so like I feel like I should preface this. I'm moving to Providence tomorrow.
Are you really?
I am.
Oh.
Oh, I'm still around, guys. It's fine. I'll be here.
All right.
It's cool. We'll talk about that
All
next.
right.
All right.
All right, we'll talk about that next. I'm
So-
sad.
We were looking at an apartment that night, and I needed to get frames anyways, which I thought I was going to get earlier, but Sean, my partner, who's a pain in my butt, was like, no, we need to go together at this point. I'm like, okay, whatever. We need to go to the art store.
You can tell they're a serious relationship because she's like, he's paying my butt and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. As soon as you lose that, I love him so much. He's
No.
like, "Bah." You're like,
No.
oh, it's serious.
Once
That
you hate
is
them,
true.
it's serious.
So we were coming back from Providence, and I'm like, you're driving. I need to frame and wire my work. He's like, all right. And I'm like, can you slow down, please? I'm like bouncing around the back of my car.
what you
my favorite part is she got there. She's like, yeah. Then you realized I was using his knife in the back.
I broke the tip of it.
I swear to
felt
God,
so bad.
And I couldn't tell if he was mad because she might hurt herself.
or you fucked up my knife.
I missed all of
Yeah,
this.
so we didn't have a screwdriver. So I was like,
So
he
you're
always
using-
has a knife on him. So I was using the tip of his knife to screw in the screws on the frame, and I
Okay.
broke it.
The good news is, his next birthday, you can get him a Leatherman.
Yeah.
So that way he'll
So she
always-
can steal it from
So
him?
I can steal
That
it
is
from him.
such a.
At least this one will
And I
have a
mean this. Women are very nice people. That is such a woman gift.
Here's the thing. At least
I
this
bought,
one,
mom just
I
gave me
bought
something
this
like
thing
that.
for you that I can take and use later.
yeah, but at least this one will have a screwdriver, so she won't actually break the tip of the knife.
Yeah.
She didn't
So-
break it, but it was just one of those, like, when she told me the story, I'm like, I'm not sure if he's mad that she might hurt
No,
herself or
he
that
was
he fucked up
upset
his
that
knife.
I
Fucked up his
used the
knife. Yeah.
So I show up, what is it, like an hour before you guys are out of there. I'm literally messaging Andy like, we will be there.
I'm on my way. And I'm like, yeah,
Do
we're
not
waiting on like
leave.
3 people.
Um,
You are not my...
You're not my disappointing child.
yeah, well, that's, thank you. That's what my life was.
You weren't.
So,
No.
Not that
Um,
night.
not that night.
Not that night.
All right. So I show up, and he's like, is everything wired? I'm like, no, I'm going to go take them and put them on the rug and finish them over here. While Sean is like, trying to
He
fix
was very
one of
nice
them.
to me.
Well, that's nice. You don't live with him.
Shout out to Sean.
Yeah, woo! So yeah, that was my wiring experience of the millennia in the back of my
But it was great work,
car.
and you had some 3D stuff.
Yeah, I had
You had like a crazy heavy sculpture.
It's always crazy heavy, because I use all of the clay for things that
Yeah.
I don't need to use it for.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, 45,000 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you're gonna make a horror movie and you want someone beating it,
I got you covered.
And where can they find you online to murder people with your sculpture?
At Adler.com.
sweet. But what do you have a show lined up? What's going on?
Oh, for the S&G? What are we doing? What show?
I don't know. I'm asking, what do you have lined up? Like,
Oh,
what
God. I don't know. I just finished one, guys.
God damn it!
I'm
You've
so
had like a
stressed
whole
out.
like month.
It has been 3 months.
No, I just did a show with you guys. What do you mean? It was a month.
Oh, we don't count.
You
Yeah,
do
we're,
count.
We're not a real show.
No.
All right, imposters. Got it. Noted.
It wasn't like an M. Adler show.
Yeah, it
was
was
like-
just a show that you.
I need, like-
our show was one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the
I
way,
don't-
we have another show coming out with Dirty Water Distillery in
And
April.
The end of April. Yeah, part of our week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're
We're
in
also
that.
going to do a show with Inebri-art at Plymouth Bay Winery. By the way, that's happening.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
great.
what?
Yeah.
Dude, swear to God,
He didn't know
news
either.
to meet you.
Yeah, surprise!
First time. This is new, and yeah, we're doing
Okay,
that.
see,
So, Fish, we're doing a show at Plymouth Bay Winery because fucking news to me.
Okay, so
Why
Em,
not?
when are we doing this?
I don't fucking know.
Oh.
I don't
All right, yeah, fair enough. Let's do
Yeah.
that
All right,
'Cause,
we
I'm-
are.
because we
We're
are
not-
doing one at the Food Wine Expo.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah, we
I'm
talked
working
about
that too.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
so
see
do
you
we'll
that.
talk. We'll
Yeah.
get some
Yeah,
art.
come down and say hi.
Bring us
I will.
wine.
I
Yeah.
will.
We're not.
We're not wine
Okay,
drinkers.
bring me
but
shots.
Okay.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, we could bring breakfast shots.
Oh, breakfast shots are the best
Ooh,
shots.
I don't eat bacon. That's fine.
Wait, what?
What?
Bacon?
What's bacon gonna
Wait.
do anything?
I don't know.
Breakfast
We can
shots,
have
isn't
bacon
it?
and
No.
breakfast
no,
shots.
what are breakfast shots?
Have
What are
you
your
ever-
version of breakfast
Have you ever
shots?
had Dr. McGillicuddy's butterscotch?
No,
Oh, it's so tasty.
Wait, do you
and
like butterscotch?
I do.
All
Then
right.
it's perfect.
Oh, okay, lovely.
It's the kind of thing it's really one of those few things that you feel comfortable drinking at like 9:30 in the morning.
First of all, I
Have
feel
you had
comfortable
Bailey's
drinking.
before?
I pretty much feel comfortable
Yeah.
drinking whatever at 9:30
I
in the
like
morning.
drinking whiskey at 9:30 in the morning.
I'm more of a
actually.
vodka guy at that kind of time of day.
So,
Vodka.
anyways, we
No,
used to
vodka
do
in the morning,
Oh.
whiskey in the afternoon.
Oh, lovely.
Whiskey is an afternoon drink.
All right.
we used to do a lot of Comic Cons and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and we get like the whole sleeve of Dr. McGillicuddy's butterscotch.
Oh, right on.
And it's so you go to these shows, you travel like an hour, 2 hours to get there. Setups at like 7 or 8 in the morning, so you left at like, I don't know, 5. You get there, you set up. It's like maybe 9, and someone's like, shot, and you're like, okay.
Don't mind if I do.
So
And-
like butterscotch at that kind of time, you're like,
It's
yeah,
just- it's
that
a proper
seems,
bre-
that
Perfect.
seems like
Yeah.
not
So-
problematic.
So in the next week, I have to pick up breakfast shots.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because I guess we're doing
to know.
that.
Good.
Yeah, because
And
that's coming up
we owe you
fast
a
and furious.
shot anyway. So
Yes.
Jesus Christ, I was busy.
how do you think I feel? I didn't even know we owed her a shot.
I forgot about it.
I was
Yeah.
I say lots of
Andy
things.
knew.
Didn't we already go
Andy
over?
knew.
Didn't we go over about like the things I
at the
say?
distillery. I could have hooked her up.
Um,
She came in and tried to steal my keys.
I did. Well, it was. I don't want to go. Into
Why
that
did
story.
she want your keys?
She
Because
walked out.
you left
wanted
the
the
banner.
standee.
in his
Oh,
car?
You totally.
So
Yes!
I'm standing there
Yeah.
at the
He
I'm
has
at the
his
distillery.
keys,
All
and
right,
I'm like,
uh,
I don't.
And it's like
hang on.
So I'm trying to give
Wait,
her my keys.
whoa. Hang on, we have to bring the listeners up to speed because we're super inside baseball right now. So we have an Inebri-art banner that I'm pretty good about making sure that we get up at all our shows. Whatever we're doing, I put up the banner. 3 days before Christmas, my car breaks down. Everything that was in my car is now in Fish's car
Yeah, like
because he's a good friend. Whatever. Let's
no,
just
it's
glance
fine.
over that.
If he was nicer than that, I'd
I'd
have.
be super drunk.
I'd be-
Yeah, he's
So,
there's a standard.
so
of
anyways,
Andy's
the
drunk
Inebri-art
disposal.
banner is in the back of his car. At the art show, I'm like, oh, I just don't think people are really getting the fact that it's different than the Plymouth Center for the Arts. And Emma's like, well, don't you have a sign up, a banner? I'm like, oh, it's in the back of Fish's car. I'm like, how did I forget about that? So that explains why you're trying to get his keys.
Yeah, and then I go to the distillery and I'm like, "Fish, where are your keys?" And he's like, "Why do you need my keys?" But so willing to give them to me. Yeah, he was just giving
like,
them to me, and I'm like, "I actually
Here you
don't
go, girl.
want to be in charge of this."
I've been hanging out at a distillery at this point for like 2 hours. I mean, having keys is not the worst plan.
So I thought you weren't drunk. Big
Not at
whiny
the end.
bitch.
Oh, ayo.
Yeah.
That is
Look, I didn't pound everything at the end. I paced my drinking, Andy.
Well, I knew I was staying downtown, so it didn't matter.
I had to drive home.
All right. I didn't
Talk
have
to me at Art Week when I will be downtown.
So have you heard about the wage agreement?
About you guys having to be in your
Art show. You
Art
have
shows.
heard about the
Yeah.
wage
I
agreement.
pay attention. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
for our listeners, there is a wage agreement. Our art show is coming up in April-ish.
And April.
What's the date?
I have it right here.
26th and 27th.
There we go.
Those dates that Fish just said. Thank you, research.
The first week of Art Week.
The first day of Art Week.
We are kicking off Art Week
Yeah,
with the
Right on.
so we did it
Spring
last
Art
year.
Show.
The Spring Art Show
Yep.
kicks off Art Week. You can go to artweekma.org. I think is what it is. Just Google Art Week Massachusetts. And so after we hung the art show with M's work, and when I wasn't buying her shots at the Plymouth Center for the Arts, we were at the New World Tavern, and we were having a bite to eat and a drink prior to the festivities kicking off. And I said to Fish, I'm like, I haven't hung in any of our art shows in ages. And he's like, well, I've never hung in our art shows. I'm like, all right. So here's the bet. You're going to put a piece in. I'm going to put a piece in. And he's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, but here's the kicker. If one of us doesn't, you have to pick up the tab for the other guy for the entirety of Art Week. And he's like, fuck, I can't afford that. I'm like, neither can I.
So, now, mind you, I think we've already committed to do about 7?
Huh?
6 or 7. How many events are we doing for Art Week?
I was going to take out my calendar like a second ago.
It's
and you
between like
decided-
5 and 10, and I'm not sure where, but we're
so
insanely busy the whole time.
This episode's about you, even though we're talking about us.
It's all right.
All right, we're totally sidetracking here.
It's
So
okay,
Art
I mean-
Week starts
It's all right.
26th. We have the art show 27th to the 28th. We have a live podcast and a podcasting 101. I guess it's going to be on the 29th. We have a drink and draw on the 30th.
Hell yeah.
Then we're going into May. I think we have a, what do you call the pieces of a barrel? Staves?
Yeah.
We have a staves painting coming up on the
Ooh.
1st of May at Barrel
Oh,
House
is
in Weymouth. That's kind of tentative right now.
I think this might be the first I'm hearing of that.
No, it's not the
Surprise.
first. The second, we have, it's in my calendar's Tile Day. We're working on a community art project, which you are going to be part of.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you
That's
are.
the first I'm hearing about
No,
it.
don't
yes,
worry.
it is.
Don't worry. It's fine.
We are taking an old-timey picture of Plymouth.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to grid it and cut it into pieces.
Oh, right on.
You're going to get a square, and you have to recreate that square at a larger size, and we're going to put it back
Is
together.
it paint?
You can do whatever you want.
You can do
All
whatever
right.
you want. Yeah,
Cool.
we're not.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Don't sculpt
You
anything.
you could do macaroni art. Fuck it, I don't care.
Wait, I can do macaroni art.
If you can make macaroni art in that square that we can rehang it, go for it.
That could
We
be
have someone
cool.
that's going to cross stitch a section.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're going to piece it back together, and it's going to tour Plymouth, I think, for a year.
Cool. Is that for the 400?
Yeah.
No. It's just
Are you guys preparing for the 400 yet?
I'm trying to prepare. This is May. I'm trying to
Okay.
prepare for
Well,
May.
sorry, I'm just
All
trying
right.
to keep you organized.
Give-
Then we
give
have
us-
a
give
mug
us 7
painting at
months.
Springdale on the 3rd. Then we have the tile reveal project on the 5th. And that's the end of Art Week.
All right, so while we're doing dates, my next paint night at Plymouth Bay Winery is January 19th, and
Will this be out before then? Maybe.
I don't know.
So
No.
you run paint nights.
I run paint nights at Plymouth Bay Winery.
So if someone wanted to do paint night, where would they find that information?
on our Facebook page,
Okay.
we list our events. So I do them once a month, and I'm also starting to do the paint nights at Dirty Water, starting in February.
Oh, fancy
Yeah.
schmancy.
So that'll be cool. Stay tuned.
And this will be up by February.
We are also going to be
February.
hanging art when they redo their kind of loungy area
Yeah.
they're working on.
when it
Yeah,
doesn't
I got
look
a
like
tour
an abandoned
yesterday.
We're
barbershop.
gonna be hanging
Yes.
art there.
Yes.
Yeah, and so do you want to see Fish's head explode? We're also hanging art at a salon in Sandwich.
First I'm hearing about this one too.
Yeah,
that happened yesterday.
See, this is what happened. I leave him unattended for like 2 days.
And this is what happens.
Like he'll leave
And
me,
he comes-
he'll leave me unattended for like 5 minutes and be like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I volunteered us for this." And he'd be like, "Wait, what's going on now?"
Great.
They contacted us. It wasn't me.
This
Cool.
is someone we know.
We're talking about M.
Talking about booze in Plymouth, I am in the process of designing a couple of labels for a couple of people, and I'm really excited.
Can you say who?
Can you say who?
Yeah. So I'm designing a 25th anniversary label for Plymouth Bay Winery because
Nice.
our 25th is coming up in July. We have a new limited release coming out in the next couple of months that I'm going to design for that. It's called The Naughty Pilgrim. Get ready.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. We're doing a collab with
I'm not
Dirty
saying anything, but we may have a collaboration. How long is that gonna like run for?
What?
Like the Naughty Pilgrim, will that always be available? Like,
No, so it's like an 18 case release.
oh, okay,
So-
never mind.
Ooh.
That's probably
Yeah.
not gonna happen then.
We'll figure it out.
All right, we'll talk.
Oh my god, marketing people. We're
Oh,
top.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Two of them.
Oh my gosh.
All right, go on.
We're talking about a collab with Dirty Water, so I'm talking about doing that label. And then I've been hounding the guys at Second Wind for literally months to do a couple
Second
of,
Wind.
Second Wind
I'm sorry.
Brewery?
I'm not.
Second Wind Brewery.
Second. I'm not familiar with them.
No.
Who are they?
No.
I
no.
I'm,
know.
I'm
Kenny-
sorry.
Kenny
Ken-
Hans
Kenny
JG?
not-
No.
Wait.
No.
Jr.
JR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
No. Who are they again?
Hans?
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 Who?
Who?
I don't know. I don't know. those guys.
Should we keep going? Should we say all of them names? Scotty, you're there too. I hear you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Scott. Oh
Don't
my
forget
God, we
Scotty.
can't forget Scotty.
Oh my gosh. He would come for
realize-
you.
Honestly, I feel horrible.
This is Scotty's.
This
These were
is
Scotty's
Scotty's old
microphones.
equipment.
He would kill you.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
very funny.
I totally didn't forget about you, Scotty.
No, it's fine. We're not gonna make.
It was fish.
Shout out to Scotty.
Yeah,
shout out Scotty.
They're all looking down like sad dogs now. Like they're
So-
very upset.
So here's a fucked up story.
Oh my god.
It doesn't necessarily. It involves Second Wind, not Scotty specifically. Shout out to Scotty. So we upgraded our
Equipment.
no our I don't know uploads. So basically, we could find out where people were downloading the podcast. And so, like, nerds were like watching it like incessantly. Like, oh my god, someone downloaded us in the Netherlands. That's so cool. It's fucking Kenny from Second Wind happened to be over there
In
and
the
listen.
Netherlands.
And he's like, "Oh, I was listening to you when I was overseas." I'm like, "Oh fuck, I thought it was like a real person."
God, he loved that. I can
You
just
know-
picture the look.
It's
Yeah.
just one thing to have a Dutch guy download you. It's another thing to have a guy download you in the Netherlands.
But
Yeah.
no, shout out to
You're
Kenny.
not-
Thanks,
Not
Kenny.
that exciting,
Thanks, Kenny, for
Sorry.
listening. But he is an avid listener, so
Oh,
I'm sure
right
he'll
on.
hear this because I've walked into the Second Wind. He's like, "Hey, I just heard your voice," and I'm like, "I just got here."
That's
He's
really
like, "No, I was listening
romantic.
to your podcast."
Oh,
So,
I just heard your voice.
hey, what's up, Kenny?
I understand
How are you,
voice
Kenny?
is maybe the creepiest way of saying I listen to your
Right?
show.
It was very weird. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. But if you are a listener and you haven't been to Second Wind, check it out.
Go
You're
check
missing
them out.
It's-
Love them.
God,
I
they're
live
so
there.
good.
Yeah.
I live there, but I can't.
You can't because not more than 8 people can fit.
No, it's the Second One is right down the street from the winery. So literally, even my coworkers
Oh,
are
it
like,
really is,
"It's
yeah.
5 o'clock. Where are you going tonight?" I'm like, "Right up the street, guys. See you in
Nice.
5 hours."
So how did you get involved with the winery?
So when I was in school, Sean grew up in Pembroke, and me being the little girl from not here, I was like, "Oh, let's go see Plymouth. It's so cute." The
Did you
rock.
meet him?
At school?
So you met him at school, and he's like, "Oh, let's check out my hometown." 'cause
Yeah, he's like, "Let me go
no one wants to go to
introduce you."
Maryland. All right, for our listeners, I just got a really dirty look.
Dude, she's not even our first guest from Maryland.
Who did
I
you?
think Cass from Maryland.
Oh, guess
Abby's
like
from
Jersey.
Maryland.
Oh, New Jersey.
Abby who?
Tom's Abby. I don't know her last name. She's from Westminster.
Oh, all right. Now
Yeah.
we're talking about- yeah.
Um,
I'll ask later, apparently.
You know what's funny is you guys drop a lot of names, so I'm just glad I know all of these names that we're just like, pew!
The best part is, like, listeners are like, I don't know who any of these fucking people are. The guy Ninja is like, I barely understand English, and I don't understand what you're talking about. But,
right on.
And we shouldn't do that, but we do a lot, because we just love everyone in town.
It's a very small community, and that's really why
it's
I
very
love it.
tight-knit.
It's a very small community for such a very big town.
Yes. But it's mostly in the beverage industry. I think that's what's so cool.
You think it is?
I think, yeah.
Well,
I feel like it's geographic.
You think?
I don't know, because how many people do we know who aren't bar and restaurant people?
Jesse, Eddie, Kat.
Okay, bar, restaurant, art people.
Kara, who runs Plymouth Memorial Hall. Andrew Bortari, that runs Plymouth Cultural Bay District.
Name drop.
I know. It's fucking watch out, man. I'm going to drop... Pew. Yeah. No, we have been super lucky that we've gotten involved with a lot of cool people. Ethan from
Center for the Arts.
Thank you for the Center of the Arts. Like, we've been really lucky that.
All right, so I know the people in the beverage industry. Let me just period.
But this is the cool thing is they're all super cool, and I'm sure our listeners who don't live in this area are like, God, this guy fucking never shuts up about Plymouth
Because we don't.
Yeah,
it's great. Like, I just don't think people get it. It's a happening place, and that sounds like such a dorky thing to say.
It's upcoming, though, and it's really welcoming. Like, honestly, I'm not being from here. It took me about 4 months to enter the beverage world and your guys' the Inebri-art world, and I was just like, all right, cool, I found a niche. Cool, I like this place.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I feel like you walked... I feel... Kat's another perfect example. Like, Kat's only been here a year.
Printmaking Cat.
Yeah, Inky Hand Studios.
Yeah. She's not from Maryland.
No, she's from Jersey.
New Jersey.
Oh.
But she was in Texas. She's
Sorry,
only
all the mid-Atlantic states look like to me.
when it's south of Massachusetts.
And that is an insult to both Maryland and Delaware, and I'm sorry.
But, like, she's only been here a year.
Yeah, we've been here at the same time.
No,
And I-
she's only been here since, like, May.
Yeah.
Well, we first met her a year ago.
Yeah. She showed up in...
And I said to her, I'm like,
yeah.
I feel like I've known you for years. And the same with you. I feel like I've known you forever. But, like, you, like last spring entered into our art show.
Yeah, right after Easter.
Yeah. And it's just that's how it works around here. It's like you see everyone all the time, and it's never that guy. Which I would totally understand if you guys are like that towards me.
No.
Yeah, that's how we all feel about you.
I get it. I get it.
All of us.
I'm like that when I look in the mirror. I'm like, ugh, this guy. Brush my
It's
teeth.
mostly the beard.
Yeah. No, and it was really cool too. Like coming from Baltimore, of course, the Dr. Sketchy nights were huge for me. Like I used to go sneak in. I know there's a point of contention.
I've no point of contention with those lovely people. Those lovely people.
All right, so it was a big deal. I used to sneak into the bar, like give them extra money so I could just draw.
Have you been to our events yet?
Like twice.
Figure drawing?
Yeah.
All right, didn't we talk about how I work on Monday nights because I work
also
all
you know we do
and
Wednesday nights.
I did do the Wednesdays for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
I just got
You know,
busy.
The Wednesday in February, we have a unbelievable model.
You.
Yeah. Why do you gotta say that? Like,
Obviously.
Yeah, come on.
No, but I was really stoked about that because that was something that I really felt I missed when like the first 4 months of living here. I'm like, I don't know anyone. I don't have because I was still working for anthropology in the art department. I was the assistant to the visual artist who did all of the in-store window displays and huge
like the
sculptures.
Clothing? Is it a clothing company?
It is a clothing
Okay.
company, but they're
okay.
known for like their in-store art.
No, it's just when I hear anthropology, I think of what I went to school for,
'Cause he's
not
a
like
giant
the
nerd.
clothes
No,
brand. But
different.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow, look at how she didn't say like, "Oh no, fish is a nerd."
It's because I'm
No,
a nerd.
because I'm interested in bones. Woo.
She's got a Andy,
Bones.
and she's got a Dream Classics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'm not
It's
based
like
at all.
she has no moral ground to stand on. Call me a nerd.
Yeah, I have a bones collection. Fun fact.
Oh,
Wait, like-
And I'm a
really?
vegetarian,
please-
not
please say
human
animal.
bones. Animal.
Okay.
What kind of bones?
I have a couple of deer skulls. I have some
Nice.
antlers. I have a bull skull hanging on my wall. I have a fox skull. I have a fisher cat skull, and I'm missing one. And I have a coyote skull.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I feel like I both want to ask why and really don't want to know why.
Because they're super
Well,
cool. First of all,
yeah, that's
I
really-
love drawing skulls.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's like my favorite thing. Now I want to like hang out with them and just draw skulls.
Yes. Right on.
All right.
Hey,
All right. All right. That's gonna happen. Ooh,
yeah.
we could do that.
We could we could do a
we could
night
totally
of that
My
too.
God, did I tell you about what's gonna happen? I didn't.
Context.
You already fucking know. I'm pretty sure you already know.
What?
So we were working with the Buttonwood Park Zoo to do life drawing.
Can you just say that one more time?
Buttonwood Park.
Okay, 'cause it's not what
Zoo.
I heard.
What did you hear?
I had Buttworks. I'm like,
The Buttworks Park Zoo.
Buttworks Park Zoo.
First
I'm
of
like,
all,
what do do?
don't
What do
judge
they
me.
do there?
You don't know about my lifestyle.
The Buttonwood Park Zoo. Is that better?
Yeah, it's
All right.
beautiful.
We're working to do a life drawing with them.
So what does that mean? Are they going to bring
we're gonna-
giraffes into the fucking New World?
No.
No.
It's going to be there.
No.
Well,
It's going to be there, but we're looking at an owl, a beaver, a phoenix fox.
oh, cool.
Fennec.
Fennec. Which, if you don't know what that is,
It's-
Google is the cutest
it's-
fucking thing I've
it's
ever seen.
Pretty solidly adorable.
And probably like one other animal.
I'm pushing for a sloth.
But we should totally do a skull thing.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
a
would
lot
love
of
to.
fun. All right.
That was. Aw.
Right?
Can you do that again right into the microphone?
Aw.
That's exactly what I did when I heard like Google the Fennec Fox, and I am.
That is so. The ears are like.
It's the cutest thing.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
You need to, whoever you are, Google a fennec fox because it will really make your night.
They're so
They're
cute.
so
At
cute.
least,
Yeah.
at least I know what the image for the podcast should be this week.
A Fennec
The
Fox.
Fennec
Oh, it's going to be a
Fox.
Fennec
It
Fox.
should be a Fennec Fox every week. Because people are going to be like, oh, what is that about?
That is an insult to all the other cute animals out there, like
No,
bush
it's
babies. Oh, have you ever seen a bush baby?
Yeah, but their eyes. I have a story for
What the
you
fuck is a bush
about a
baby?
bush baby. I'll
It's
show you
a tiny little
picture.
pearl.
What's the
sitting there.
the Dumbo octopus?
Yeah, the
That's
one that
really
looks
cute.
like-
yeah, that's really cute.
They have like the biggest eyes. So I was on a cruise.
And here's another shout out. I'm going to name drop some more. 'cause,
Name drop,
Jim and Heather Casey's dog. Oh, okay, I know this thing.
but it's like
Yeah, Jim and Heather Casey's dogs.
no.
They're
Oh,
a
they're-
couple of French bulldogs.
Will I know them if I saw them? Probably.
Have you ever
Probably.
been to Malabar or
No.
Do you know
Blue-eyed
Dan
Crab?
Blue-eyed crab. Oh, it's the
You know-
owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know Dan Mahoney?
I
He
know that name.
he
BBC?
BBC. He also has a French bulldog, and this is the best part, named Snarls Barkley.
Snarl.
It is.
It's the goddamn
honestly,
cutest
it's an
dog I've ever
adorable
seen.
dog.
Oh, cool.
It's like painfully cute.
What were we talking about?
Pretty much nonsense.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
like
one
if
of
you
these.
listen to
we've-
this podcast, it's all over the place because you're tired. We're a little
Yeah.
tipsy.
Right on.
There are two versions of the Inebri-art podcast. There are the ones I'm not in, which tend to be fairly on topic and coordinated. And then there are ones
And
I'm
then
in,
there's
which means we know the person we're talking to.
I
and
feel
we've
like there's
gone
the good
screaming off
ones,
the
and then
rails.
there's the ones that you're in.
This isn't a good one.
Wow.
Well, this
wow.
might-
wow.
Shit. So I
Fuck
owe
you,
a shot.
Andy. Fuck you.
Wow.
See, you wouldn't have this problem
But
if
see,
you got
why
her
did you
red
fuck
so-
up Em? I said Em's going to be on. You're like, I'm going to fuck her per podcast and talk.
I think it's that.
All
Hey,
right,
we should
so
get
my
him on the
art
podcast.
show. Thanks for asking, guys. Well, when the gallery reached out to me, no, that's really close to my face.
No, that's kind of where we need you.
Yeah,
No, it's fine here.
is it? It's fine here.
It's
So
fine there.
Should I
the gallery
spit
reached out
to
to
it?
you. The question I think I asked like an hour ago was, what was the turnaround time? Like, when did they approach
So
you?
they
and when did
approached
they
me.
expect-
They approached me in
See, I totally brought it back in
January.
an hour later.
and
And the show was in
they were like,
October, right?
well, they asked, they're like, can you do a show in June? I'm like, oh, fuck no, dude. I just moved here like 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, how about October? Because it's my birthday, and it's like, that's a celebratory month.
Nice. Happy
So,
birthday.
thank you. Ooh. So yeah,
That's weird.
it was really stressful because I was really proud of the work that I pulled out for that show.
It was a beautiful show.
Thank you so
I brought
much.
a friend of mine, and she was very impressed. And she's like, Emma's so nice. I'm like, you don't know her.
You don't know, right?
You don't know her like I do. I've known her for like a month and a half.
It was longer than that,
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, it was really stressful, and like in retrospect, and I think this comes back to imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, yeah.
It's like I never feel like my work is good enough
Mm-hmm.
when I'm hanging out, especially because I have this weird thing against frames. Sorry, guys.
You have a thing against
But
frames?
we don't
Yeah.
care, we don't care about frames. We just care about wires.
Just wire it.
Yeah.
Just make it easy to hang.
Frames are
Yeah.
for other people. It's fine.
It's just
I thought
hard
you were
because
saying for
yeah, I was ready.
You'd be
I was
like,
like,
"Brandon's
"Ugh."
buzzes.
Flip my table, walk away. No, it's just like I really rebel against the idea of like the traditional art world. Like it has to be beautiful and it has to be framed and matted and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, fuck you. Like
See, that's
I
why
don't
think
have
we
that
get along,
money.
because
Yeah.
like I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Yeah,
I want it to be cool.
God, how do
Yeah.
we describe it? Instead of like the over the couch art, where the under the table
Yes.
art world.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just hard though trying to sell in a New England market where everything is couch art.
But I feel like there's people out there who are interested in the non-traditional.
I totally agree, but where are those people? How can I find those
I don't know
people?
but they're out there. Like I'll talk to people like, oh, I really dig Banksy, and even like Banksy's kind of mainstream now. I'm just talking to don't make
There's
faces.
nothing wrong with Banksy. No, I'm sorry. Would you like to explain what's wrong
I
with
don't want
Banksy?
to talk about it.
All right, I like him. But anyways,
Okay.
but definitely not couch art.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
So-
I like Swoon better than Banksy personally.
Oh,
If you-
swoon stuff's really nice.
She's fucking sick.
Yeah. What do you think, Fish?
I think I'm gonna have to go look. I'm the,
Swoon is beautiful.
I am the technical
Yes,
guy.
she also
I don't
has.
know.
It was like her and another. What is her?
But
his name?
I
JR?
like Banksy because almost the more they push Banksy,
He's
the
like,
more
fuck you.
the more he pushes back.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But swoon stuff is
she's so sick.
absolutely
I have
beautiful.
lady crush
Yeah.
on her.
I totally get it.
No, so what was cool about my show?
Okay, wow,
though,
yeah,
Right?
yeah. This is some.
Yeah,
Um,
his stuff's unbelievable.
So this with my show, it's really hard too because people are like, "Who does your art like attract? Like who's in your camp?" And it's really all of my friends who like
And
are
see,
so supportive and they
we-
love it.
We are working on expanding, and we're working very hard at it too, because when we hang art, we have a little reception, and everyone's super supportive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've been out to our stuff. Alex Lever,
Whose work is sick.
oh my god,
Oh,
our stuff's
God,
so good.
yeah.
Chris Mindel, Pat, Jim Curran. Everyone comes out to support everyone else's art, and this isn't a knock on anyone, but we want the art buyers, not the other artists.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is the real trick, and what we're working hard, and I think we're selling more art now than we ever have.
That's awesome.
But it's not a ton, but you know, it's this kind of like uphill battle where you're trying to build like this.
Like we're
The
trying
master
to
list of
Yeah,
buyers.
yeah, you know,
basically trying to find our way to. It's a niche market, but we want that. We want it to be our niche.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no easy answer. It's just going to take time and work and dedication.
Yeah.
and that's just like any. I mean, if you're a fucking barber,
Time, work, and dedication.
time, work, and dedication is what you need to build that clientele, and it's very tough because what we do is not mandatory to life. You know,
I disagree.
if I'm in a survival situation, food, fire, protection.
But you're not a
Shelter.
caveman.
I'm not, but I'm
Well-
just saying. But the
Got him.
but you know, if you're low income, buying artwork isn't on your list of things. To do.
Yes.
If you're median income, it may not be on your list of things to do. So it's not. And believe me, I believe art is very important, but it is not. Buying it is not a requirement.
So something that I'm going to nerd out for a second.
Okay.
So at Anthony Hollingsworth, my professor from Roger Williams.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Oh,
shout
wait,
out.
That was
Wait,
No,
No,
that's
never
an
mind.
insult.
No,
But we insulted Scotty so much. Sorry, Scotty.
Shout out to Scotty.
He really instilled in my head that, like, the way the ancient Romans and Grecians sort of thought about art, and as humanitarian, it's all about language, beauty, dance, music, like all of the things that are continuously being defunded by the government. We need.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Well, in fairness,
surprise.
as right now, everything has been defunded
Yeah.
by the government. So
I was
The
waiting
Coast
for that.
Guard,
Yeah.
the government has
the
been
EPA.
defunded by the government. So it's kind of a
The
moot
government
point.
is.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with you that it's important, but unfortunately, not everyone sees it that way. So those things tend to get like I think it's vital that you teach art and creativity to kids because even if they're going to go into accounting, the ability to think creatively is important.
I agree.
It's like it's almost a problem-solving thing. So it's vital, and when you have those kids that think weird and quirky, that you might be like, oh, they're kind of a little offbeat. No, those are the kids that are going to succeed because they're offbeat.
What was so interesting about my show is I sold 11 pieces out of like 35, 40. It was a lot of work.
Very nice.
But
I know. I've seen her stuff. Her stuff is really good.
But you didn't go to her show, douchebag.
I'm sorry.
Andy only went because I reminded him.
Andy
so...
also went.
You did.
Oh, that's not fair. Andy went because he was dating a girl who lived down that way.
Oh,
A little bit.
That's true. I noticed.
Yeah, I
noticed. And
I went out of my way.
like 10 minutes.
No, shut the fuck up.
15.
all right, this is me reeling the conversation
All right.
back.
I'm sorry. First of all, that's not how this podcast works.
It's like I'm sorry. So yeah, anyway, about
It's
you.
like insult.
Insult.
Let's talk about a little about you. Insult.
I like it.
All right.
Well, we've been doing this for what, an hour?
Almost, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
So-
All of my friends bought work, and they don't fucking have money.
Right.
So I was just like, don't spend your money on that. Rent's more important,
But
guys.
see, that's weird. And I if friends buy work of mine, I'm always like, oh, thank you, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, seriously, like, don't spend your money on that. Like,
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you love me enough. You love the work enough to buy it, but you love me. So it's just like, it's this weird sort of relationship. I don't know. Money is hard. Money is just hard. I wish. It's funny now. I just got interviewed by Roger Williams Alumni Committee
I
about
think you just got interviewed by us, sorta.
No,
weird
it's not
sorta
past
roundabout
tense. It's not past tense.
She's
yet.
being interviewed by us.
And a weird. Is she really? I feel like there's a lot of like.
I
us
think
being-
we've
It's
gotten-
just bantering.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot out of her somehow.
So it was just like talk about like, how did you get started with your business and how are you blah blah blah, how are you making money? And then
Isn't it weird when they ask you those things and,
And
you're
I'm
like,
just
wait,
like-
am I doing that?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
And
That's that imposter
yeah,
syndrome.
that's imposter
Yeah.
syndrome. It's the what do you mean? I'm sorry, I'm the expert now. How the f did that happen?
they reached out to me and I'm like, do you want to interview in my living room? Because that's where my studio is right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
They're like, that would be perfect. And they walked in. I'm like, literally, guys, like, my couch is there. My studio's here. Like, there's the door.
Like I've had Pack TV be like, we want to follow you around for the day. I'm like, oh God, don't.
Why? Yeah.
Don't do that. No, we want to see how like you feed your dog and you get up and like make breakfast. And be like, no, you don't.
It's like I don't know how 8 hours of my day job is really great
Yeah,
TV,
it's-
but
it's-
sure.
It's like you don't
Yeah.
want to see me like wake up, shower, and scratch my ass. That's not what you want to see. That's not a
Apparently
thing.
they do.
Well,
Wow.
No
Pack
one wants to
TV's
see
hurt. No, yeah, Pack TV's hurting. I guess. No, but yeah, it's weird. Like
shout
when,
out to Pack TV.
Shout out to Pack TV. Shout out to Scotty. It's just weird how like it feels like people like kind of lump this. I don't know if it's responsibility is the right word, but like accolades onto you, and like that's not who I am.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
I'm the idiot who forgot to brush my teeth this morning. Like, don't like. I'm not.
It's like, I just
Yeah.
had a panic attack 5 minutes
Right.
ago. You want to interview me about being like a professional? Like,
Right.
Did you get the right email address? I couldn't tell.
Did you see the part where I hammered a nail through my own finger? Like, I'm not good at this.
Speaking of which, I actually like had to get stitches when I was working in Anthro doing like an X-Acto thing. So like I have really pretty scars from
Yeah.
that.
Well, as long as they're pretty scars.
They're pretty scars?
You just said they were pretty
They
scars.
are pretty scars. Look, they shine in the light.
Ooh, mine don't
Ooh.
shine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you put glitter on in the morning?
It's best
Loser.
not to ask me that.
It's best not to ask.
It's not great for my
I
job.
feel like we've learned too much about fish. I've known him for a long time. So, we've been sort of interviewing Em Adler for an hour. Sort of. But it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, thanks.
And where can people go to find out more about you, check you out online, and not like in a creepy stalker way, and more like a check out your art kind of way?
Okay, right on. So you could go to my website. It's not updated right now. It's emadler.com. And then my Instagram right now is sort of the easiest way to like look at my updated stuff. So that's EMHARY, Emery 12.
Emery.
Emery. That's what my sisters calls me because it's Emily, but they like to think they have a lift with Emery. Yeah.
Wait, they like to think they have a
Yeah,
lisp?
They're just we're just
they're
Jewish
just
in a
sisters.
lot.
They're just sisters.
We're just Jewish females in a lot.
Sure.
And do you have any shows coming up?
Not at the moment. I sort of need a solid hiatus.
All right.
I just started working on some more work. I have some like more funky utilitarian ceramics that are going to be coming up soon with some coral on them and some drawings. But really the move tomorrow is top priority currently.
I can't believe you're moving away from us.
But I'm still working in
I'm
Plymouth.
not surprised.
Why?
Have you met us?
No, I'm thinking more. Have you seen the rent prices in Plymouth? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, we're on Rhode Island.
Providence.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
right
really-
on Wickeden Street.
But you're gonna still work here?
Still work here. So
That's a commute.
That's... Yeah.
yeah, so we're figuring it out. I think I'm going to take over a territory of like central and western Massachusetts. So it's going to work out.
all right.
So I'm still going to be here a couple of days a week, but I'm
Okay.
also not going to be here. So
not as much.
yeah, but I'll still be around.
So you won't be here as much, but you'll always be welcome at Inebri-art events because we love you,
Oh.
and we're looking to expand. So we'll
Yeah,
like
So
talk
hey,
and-
Providence.
Like,
We'll talk.
yeah. I mean, we do have a San Angelo, Texas Inebri-art life drawing,
That's awesome.
right? And we don't have one in Providence.
We should work on
All right,
that.
we're looking
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't have enough on my plate right
Whatever.
now. Ready?
I don't care about your real job.
Like, I'm sorry, are you sleeping? Because that's...
That's how we feel right now.
Sleeping's
Yeah.
for suckers.
I walked into work today and my manager's like, "You look good." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, I feel like I have crazy eyes right
See,
now."
I was feel like, wait, what do you mean? What are you looking at
Yeah,
every other
exactly.
day? What the fuck does that mean?
I walked into second wind and I literally said that to Hans, and he's like, "You're fine." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, stop."
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to sell you beer.
I already bought it, so
Alright.
it was afterwards.
No, he's Hans Pro. He's already working on your next beer.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
And where can they go to find out about your paint nights at Plymouth Bay Winery?
Plymouth Bay Winery on Facebook. Follow us. Hit that follow button. Hey.
Hey.
Hair flip.
Hair flip. PlymouthBayWinery.com, the event page has all the information. But then just call the winery to reserve your spot.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be it. Are you guys doing anything for Art Week at the winery?
No, but we'll talk.
All right, we'll talk.
All right,
We'll do
I,
things.
I think
Yeah,
we
because
have
I have.
Because we can totally like.
Wait, do we have a
have
day
no.
left?
I have no problem in it. Like volunteering Fish to do shit that he doesn't want to do or doesn't know about.
We're right on.
So we'll
That's
talk. We'll
kinda
talk
how
when
it
he's not in the room.
No, I actually have a lot of work still. All of the large framed pieces that I had in my show are hanging at the winery.
Oh, really?
Because-
Nice.
Yeah, because
Well,
I.
we might have some places coming.
Yeah.
All right,
Good,
we'll talk. All right,
we'll talk,
all right,
yeah.
Cool.
Please.
Nice. Our listeners are like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are
I
they
know.
talking about? So thanks again for listening. And this was M. Adler. And if you don't know cool art, don't look up at her shit. If you like cool art, man, M. Adler, she's the shit.
Ew.
And I can't believe it's only been a year that we've done you.
I know.
Right?
It honestly feels like forever.
Right?
Yeah. In a good way.
It's
In a good way.
it's just like when my ex-wife was like, can you believe we've been together 10 years? I'm like, no, it feels like it's an eternity. Can you believe she's my ex now? It's weird.
I was just still on my ex-wife. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were married.
He's
Oh,
not.
yeah. Oh, I'm not now.
Yeah, noted. Noted.
Hence the X.
Woo!
All right. And I think that's it. And we'll see you guys next time. And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there
for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.